It's official. The next generation of Mitsubishi's genuine SUV is coming already in the next year. Loyal Pajero fans can finally feel some relief as the Pajero Sport won't end up the same way its bigger and more luxurious cousin did. Instead, the new model is on the way and it will be completely new with substantial changes for the first time in 2 decades. Buckle up as we're taking a look at the new 2025 Mitsubishi Pajero Sport, the off-road king. But first, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. There's much more to find, whether you're into the newest car reviews and previews, or you desperately need a throwback to times when everything was better. The 2025 Mitsubishi Pajero Sport Imagined. The new 4th generation of Mitsubishi's midsize SUV has been officially confirmed. Still, that doesn't mean it revealed everything. Some aspects are still well hidden, or it may be due to the fact that the new model is still not in the final stage of development when we usually start to see test mules taking their final forms. Anyway, the styling is yet to be revealed and therefore we can only rely on unofficial renderings for now. Actually, we can refer to a little bit more than that, considering that, once again, the Pajero Sport will share most of the parts with its longtime pickup companion, the Triton. That model already had its premiere, and we know very well what it looks like. The more upright grille, new lighting groups, and more aggressive front-end design, in general, are things we expect to see in the new 3-row SUV as well, considering that the two models have always been sharing everything that was possible in terms of aesthetics. That's exactly what all those digital unofficial renderings show at the moment, the same front-end design. But this SUV is much more than that, so the imagined next-generation Pajero Sport shows progress in various other areas too, starting from a more upright rear-end design with sharp LED taillights. The wheel arches seem way bolder, while the whole SUV leaves a more muscular impression than its predecessor. If this is how the production model is going to look like, we're more than happy. All new design. After a short referral to unofficial renderings, let's get on with what we know for sure is going to happen. The first thing to talk about, of course, is the platform. It's all new, the same one that underpins the new Triton, and that's certainly big news, considering that this is the first time both Triton and Pajero are getting a new platform. To remind you, the previous generations were based on an updated variant of the platform that was originally introduced by their predecessors back in 2005. We don't have to be particularly smart to conclude that this means a lot of new things are going to come. We learned from the new Triton that the new platform means a stiffer chassis, with increased torsional rigidity, which means the new SUV should be both more capable and better to drive than before. Speaking of the driving experience, we should not forget to say a few words about the suspension setup, considering the difference compared to the Triton pickup. Namely, the new generation of Mitsubishi's pickup truck carried on with its rugged suspension setup, which includes leaf springs on the rear end. The Pajero Sport, although also a great off-roader, is rather a family hauler than a work truck, so things are a little bit different. The previous generation was already equipped with a multi-link rear suspension, so we have no doubt that the new model will continue in the same way, with further improvements of course. In the front, we count on a proven combo double wishbone in combination with a stabilizer bar. This leads us to another important aspect of the new platform and next-generation Pajero Sport, and once again we can refer to the changes we saw on the new Triton. Namely, the new pickup got bigger. It's longer and features a longer wheelbase, so we expect to see the same thing in the case of the new SUV, which would certainly bring a few benefits regarding interior space and overall comfort. New engine, more power. Among the big novelties that are about to come with this redesign, the new powertrain definitely draws a lot of attention. Technically, it's not a completely new powertrain, but rather a new version of the good old 2.4-liter inline-4 turbo diesel, which has always been known for its great fuel economy. Now, it gets more power, due to the fact that the new variant of the engine utilizes 2 turbochargers rather than just one. In numbers, that would be a notable power boost to 150 kilowatts and 470 Newton meters, enough to keep pace with Fortuner and Everest. For reference, the previous version, with a single turbocharger, is good for about 133 kilowatts and 430 Newton meters of torque. So far, there's been no word about a 6-cylinder turbo diesel or a plug-in hybrid, as some rumors were suggesting. We don't think there's a big chance to see those units powering the new generation, but on the other hand, we should remind you that the company promised an all-electric version by the end of this decade a while ago. As for the transmission, we think things won't change much, so the familiar 8-speed automatic should carry on, maybe with minor revisions in terms of programming. This leads us to the drivetrain, once again expected without bigger changes. Base models would come with rear-wheel drive, while the well-known and proven Super Select 2 4-wheel drive system will be optional. This advanced system allows the driver to switch between various drive modes, combining low and high gear ratios, 2- and 4-wheel drive, as well as locking differentials. Of course, now is the time to say a few words about the off-road performance, the Pajero Sport's key advantage over family haulers that ride on unibody platforms. Off-road performance. With its body-on-frame platform, the Pajero Sport is ready to deal with all kinds of terrain, and essentially, all variants are capable off-roaders. Of course, it's always better to have 4-wheel drive, especially a great one like the Super Select 2, but the Pajero Sport can do even better than that. Because, just like the current generation, the new 2025 Mitsubishi Pajero Sport will come in a dedicated off-road variant which, on some markets, is usually called Exceed. That model comes with a full load of upgrades, which raise the Pajero Sport's off-road potential to an even higher level. Of course, it all starts with the aforementioned 4-wheel drive system, which includes a locking center differential as a part of the standard equipment. Additionally, the Exceed also comes with a rear locker as well as an upgraded terrain control system, which optimizes traction for various specific terrains such as gravel, mud and snow, sand, rock, etc. As expected, additional skid plates and upgraded underbody protection in general are there too, while it doesn't hurt to mention that convenience features like hill descent control and hill start assist. Besides these quintessential pieces of hardware, the new generation may improve in some basic off-road aspects as well. We already mentioned that the wheelbase is going to be longer, which means that the overhangs could be a bit shorter, which results in better approach and departure angles. Furthermore, with some additional suspension upgrades, we may even see things like increased ground clearance, more suspension travel, better articulation, and more. Interior design. The beauty of the Pajero Sport is in its dual personality. On one side, it dominates the scene with excellent off-road performances. On the other, it's an excellent family hauler, and of course, the upcoming redesign is expected to improve this aspect even more. We already talked about bigger dimensions and longer wheelbases, which will certainly have a positive impact on passenger and cargo space. But what about that outdated dashboard design? Well, that's been one of the biggest deal breakers for many potential buyers. The outgoing generation looks dated and lacks modern tech, but we learned from the new Triton that soon enough this will be gone. We presume that the 2025 Mitsubishi Pajero Sport will adopt the same dashboard design as its very fresh sibling and benefit from way more attractive aesthetics and a much nicer selection of materials. Most importantly, the new generation will get much-needed tech updates. The new 9-inch touchscreen looks really nice, but more importantly, it's easy to use and offers pretty crisp graphics. The instrument cluster offers a mix of analog gauges and a 7-inch TFT screen, and we find this combo perfectly fine. What's also great is that Mitsubishi decided to keep a whole bunch of physical controls. Those chunky buttons don't just look cool, they also make the driver's life much easier. The steering wheel will also come with a new, more attractive design, while younger generations will be particularly happy to hear that the new infotainment system comes with satellite navigation and wireless Apple CarPlay. But for some reason, Android Auto comes in wired form only. Although there's still no official word about it, we're pretty sure that the new model will also come available both in 2- and 3-row seating configurations, catering to the needs of both those looking for a capable family hauler and those who prioritize cargo space. Release date and price. The officials already confirmed that the 2025 Mitsubishi Pajero Sport will arrive the next year, though the exact date is yet to be specified. As for the price, it will largely depend on the market, but if we refer to Australia, the current model goes in a range between $48,000 and $65,500, and we don't expect to see some significant increase in price with the new generation. What do you think of the 2025 Mitsubishi Pajero Sport? Can it regain the title of the class leader? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.